instances of it happening all over the country. Traffic stops turning violent, even deadly. And the dangerous encounters are now leaving people wondering, what do I have to do during a traffic stop and what can I say no to? So that's why it's so important to know your rights. And joining me now is attorney Edwin Ferguson from the Ferguson firm. Thank you so much for being here today to talk about this topic. Very timely right now. Let's delve right into it. What should people do if they are pulled over?
Well, to the extent that they can comply with the officer's request, generally speaking, that's a good thing to do. As far as providing your driver's license, proof of insurance, registration for the vehicle.
What can a driver say no to?
Any kind of question that might lead to a potential criminal arrest. So, were you drinking? Do you have any guns in your car? Do you have any drugs in your car? Anything like that. Arguably, you don't need to disclose that information to an officer. You have a right to remain silent.
So if that question is asked to a driver, how do they appropriately go about declining without escalating the situation?
I would say first, tone is important. Maybe the way you and I are speaking, I probably would indicate to the officer I choose not to answer that question.
Mm-hmm. And if the driver starts to notice perhaps the officer getting frustrated or upset with them, is it appropriate to call 911? Is it appropriate to call in more law enforcement to settle the situation?
Well, I'll say this: is not against the law to call 911 in an emergency situation. It would not be against the law to try to call a friend or a family member to advise them of your location and what's going on. It wouldn't be against the law to do those things.
Okay. And in your opinion, you know, we just had a recent situation, sadly, the death of Corey Jones.
Right.
Do you think that could have been prevented?
Yes, that's the short answer, but how would be a much more complicated answer, which we're going to kind of get into tomorrow. But yes, it could potentially have been prevented, largely by the officer not being in that place at the time that he was at that place. I'm not hearing a whole lot about what Corey could have done to de-escalate the situation and avoid that tragic incident, but yeah, definitely the police could have done some things differently, and I think that's going to be borne out over the course of the next weeks.
Do you think overall countrywide that law enforcement needs to reevaluate or relook at how officers go about conducting their traffic stops?
I think we need to reevaluate who we allow to be officers. The protocol is in place. This is not new. This is not the first person that's got into a confrontation with an officer that ended in the civilian being killed. So we know how best to handle these things, but we are constantly putting or allowing persons who may not be equipped to be out on the road to remain out on the road. So I think each respective agency needs to do a better job of vetting their own officers to make sure that they're, one, physically equipped to do the job and also mentally and emotionally equipped to do the job.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much again for being here. We really appreciate it. We do have some information for you that we want to put up on your screen. The Know Your Rights Symposium is being held tomorrow at Suncoast High School from 10 a.m. to noon. You do need to register to attend, but we've made that easy for you. Just look for a link in the As Seen On section of WPBF.com, and you can go out there, RSVP, and learn a whole lot more about your rights. Thank you again, sir.
Thanks again.